Hello, this is Dr. Jimmy here, pondering, since the vault is down, pondering away and speculating without the use of the vault is a very dismal thing. I can go on horror night nightmares, of course, but you really aren't allowed to be silly on that site, and I am such a silly person. Anyway, Chad recently posted on his HHN Rumors site some interesting rumors about the upcoming Halloween Horror Nights, and I have to say, there's something about that which kind of intrigued me. The common wisdom had been, all the rumor mongering that has been going about, that we would have 10 houses this year, and yet the next rumor he posted, which may or may not have any grounds in reality, but still, was that there would only be 8 houses, 6 of which would be associated with icons. Of course, but not Cindy, who, if she was included, would be only included in a house with her father, the caretaker. So, as I sit here with my scotch and cigar, thinking about all this, it comes to mind. It reminds me of the only rumor I've heard to date that said 8 instead of 10. And I hate to say it, but it was that mysterious person who posted under the name of Dr. Raymond Holmes Incorporated recently over at the Vault, which was quickly deleted and quickly discredited. In fact, the real Dr. Raymond Holmes has a very good idea of who posted it, and he may be right. However, it doesn't read the way that individual has posted in the past. For one thing, that person, who I will not mention, but his initials are Jared Crowell, tends to misspell and use as much bad grammar as the real Dr. Raymond Holmes. So, this one was not misspelled. Furthermore, those 8 clues, remember them? Well, they included very obvious things, but some very unobvious things. It was just too darned clever for him. I don't think it was the mysterious ambulance chaser, or because it doesn't really fit his style. It's too clever. Whoever really posted those mysterious clues is not an unsubtle person. Furthermore, the more I think about it, the more 6 of those clues do seem to fit icons, and the other 2 do not. I know that may not seem obvious at first, but when you think about it, it does fit. First of all, a maze of the macabre. Well, that's Jack. That sounds just like a carnival attraction, doesn't it? And it immediately makes one think of Jack. The very obvious clue of avoid broken glass, or avoid sharp glass, whatever it was. Avoid sharp glass, that's what it was. Immediately makes one think of Bloody Mary. And of course, heavy reading implies the storyteller right off the bat. And of course, taking up the family business is a very interestingly worded clue, which makes you think taking as in undertaking. And the family business, well, that implies the caretaker and Cindy together again for the first time. But what about the director, and what about the usher? Well, that's where things get very clever and very sneaky, which is why I wonder about whoever posted that, because there are 2 clues that do fit them, but they're worded in such a way to mislead you into thinking something else entirely. There's no room service on this cruise. Oh, Frightanic, or what that other boat-oriented haunted house that we had a few years ago at Islands of Adventure in the Popeye queue area. I don't remember the name of that right off the bat. The Ship of Screams, I think it was. That's it, Ship of Screams. You immediately think of that. But then, who says that? Who on a boat would say something like, there's no room service on this cruise? Who would tell you that? Who would give you that information? The yeoman purser? The captain? No, it's not their job. The only person who gives that kind of information to a passenger is the cruise director. Remember the cruise director? Like Julie on the Love Boat, the cruise director? A director. Very clever clue. And the other one? This is a very shady building. Immediately think, oh, Shady Brook. What's the shadiest building ever associated with Halloween Horror Nights? It's not Shady Brook or Hellgate Prison or even Castle Vampire. No, there's no building as shady as the Universal Palace Theater is there. A cinema is designed to keep light out. Nothing is shadier than a cinema. It's the usher. So 6 of the 8 clues specifically reference 6 icons, exactly the way this new clue, this new rumor over at HHN Rumors that Chad has posted from some anonymous source fits. So, in that case, the answer seems to me quite simply to be that the other 2 clues also, think about them. What are they? They are Don't Steal and Hades is Waiting. You can't get those to fit an icon, no matter how hard you try. It's also hard to get it to fit anything we've seen at Halloween Horror Nights before. I mean, and why Don't Steal? I mean, maybe Hellgate Prison, but that's stretching it, because you go to jail for a lot of reasons. Don't Steal. It doesn't really fit anything, does it? I can't get my head around that one. The other one, Hades is Waiting. Why Hades? I mean, why not Hell is Waiting? Why specifically the Greek mythology? There's something in that. There's some reason that the word Hades was used instead of Hell. So that makes me wonder about the whole nonsense. But again, it may just be a load of crap, both this and the thing that Chad recently posted, because, you know, it's a mistake to discredit anything he posts. Oh, it's just by an anonymous source, therefore you can't credit it. No. Chad's been very good in the past. He's posted some stuff that turned out not to be true, but that's all right. Chad, it would also be just as foolish to assume that everything he posts is going to be spot on, because Chad himself doesn't say that. In fact, he constantly tells us that some of these rumors are just rumors. However, based on his track record, I think it would be just as big a mistake to not to give some consideration to everything that's there. I just thought it was rather interesting to think about, because what if that does add up after all? It'd be very, very embarrassing for people who immediately jump out and say, no, this is wrong, if it turns out that there are 8 houses and there are 6 icon houses and 2 that aren't, and they do fit those clues. It would be very interesting to see that, if that is what happens. Not that it will. I'm not saying it will. I'm just intrigued by it all. And the vault's down. Anyway, that's all.